Hope you're all keeping well. Okay. As friends, now we sense slowly God does not want to live in a temple. Why? Temple is a place of worship. You know, we worship God. Is is it a need for God to be worshipped? No, not at all. God doesn't want. But see, Bible says very clearly when we worship God, we are glorified, not God. So God is not the God of temple. Does he live in houses or convents? No. Why? In a house, in a convent, everybody is busy with their business. But God loves tent. Why? Friends, children also, they prefer a tent to houses. What's the problem with a house or convent is, friend, sorry, I'm speaking from spirituality point of view. Okay, I'm not asking you to, uh, renovate your buildings now. No, no. Okay, friends, in a house we have so many rooms, right? We have bedrooms, we have a chapel, we have a community room, we have parlor, we have kitchen, we have dining, refectory, all sorts of. Whereas in tent, there's just one room. Everybody has to face everybody else squarely. Okay, and in a tent, you have to be transparent. Friends, even in a tent, you want to change your dress, still you have to do it in front of others. Now, I'm speaking symbolically. So you become so transparent to everybody. So now we have established the fact that God loves a tent, not a convent. So, friends, we are not asking you to, destroy convent and build a tent. No, like the Jewish families, have your house and have a tent nearby. Am I clear? So, Jewish families on a Sabbath day would come together in a tent where they had to face each other squarely, where they had to resolve their issues, and where they were more intimate with God. And now and then, they were supposed to go into the tent and meet with God. So that's what we have to do. Okay. Friends, now how shall we do it in a practical way? So far, we have given a biblical base. God loves tent more than a house or a temple. Okay. Friends, we are not excluding temple and house and all that. We are just saying create also a tent in your convent. Okay. So how shall we create a tent in our convent? Friends, you know how God creates a tent initially? By breaking us. Sorry, if you want to be growing spiritually, you have to be ready for this brokenness. Okay. Friends, what is this? So, you can be a good religious if you can find beauty in brokenness. There's a beauty in brokenness. Friends, we all know about eagle training. Since you have heard this over and over again, I don't want to elaborate this. We know how an eagle creates a lot of difficulty in its babies in order to make them fly. Okay? So that's what God does. So in the Bible, Isaiah 40:31, Yahweh says, as an eagle stirs up its nest and hovers over its young, as it spreads its wings, takes them up and bears them aloft in its pinions. That's how I train you, he says. So what happens when God gives this training? And again, Deuteronomy 32:11, it says, they that hope in the Lord, that means those who go through this training, will renew their strength. They will soar as with eagle's wing. They will run and not grow weary, walk or not grow faint. Friends, here, you all know about eagle training already. I'll explain only that little part of eagle training. Okay. So mother eagle, she lays eggs, hatches over them and brings forth little baby eagles. Okay. So dad and mom, they keep on feeding these babies. So once the babies have reached a certain level, you know what they do? One morning, dad brings food. Their breakfast is 7:30 a.m. But what dad does is he brings food at 9 o'clock instead of 7:30, places of food, maybe a few worms on the branch like 2 meters away from the baby birds, okay, 2 meters away. You know what mom does? She keeps on nudging the little ones. Come on, go get the food. So far, they were literally feeding. The little ones kept their mouth open and the parents were feeding like this. Now, no more. You go and have your food. And when the baby eagle begins to walk on the branch, when the baby eagle is about to grab food, you know what mom does? Mom pushes the bird and makes it fall. While the child is falling, baby eagles, she begins to really flap her wings. And when she flaps her wings, then she falls, but a little slower. Then before the baby hits the ground, mom supports the baby and keeps on soaring higher and higher. Okay. And when it reaches a high altitude, once again, it turns the body and lets the bird fall. Friends, it keeps on increasing the height until it can go to 20,000 feet above the ground. By that time, a baby eagle, only two types of eagles give this training, bald eagle and golden eagle. You can see them on YouTube. Okay. Friends, once they reach 20,000 feet, then the baby eagle develops wings 8 feet, 8 feet on either side, altogether 16 feet. And they become the king of the birds. Okay. All birds live some 3, 4, 5 years maximum. But eagles can live 70 years. You have heard this over and over again. I don't want to repeat. Friends, that's a kind of training God wants to give us. Friends, there's something I want to share, which is biblical, but we haven't heard of this. Okay. Jesus mentions there are many chambers I'm in charge of. Okay. That means like we have earth, there are many other planes of existence. Okay. Friends, recently a college student, he asked me, Father, are there ETs, extraterrestrials? Is there life beyond Earth? I said, hey boy, I am an ET, you are an ET. You are an extraterrestrial, I am an extraterrestrial. He said, what? No, we are human beings here on Earth. I said, what's your age? 20. So 25 years back, where were you? Were you in this Earth? No. Maybe 100 years later, 150 years later, do you think you'll be here on Earth? No. So you have come from somewhere for a short period of time, okay, for your soul to evolve. And then you go back where you came from, or you go ahead, with life. Here we have just a little sojourn, a little, in, that's all, just for a short period of time. Friends, according to Jesus, there are so many worlds like this available. That means different planes of existence. Are there other planets where there are lives? Absolutely. Earth is only not even speck in this universe. There are millions and millions and billions of lives in other planets. Okay. Friends, our church has officially accepted this even in the year 1995. Okay. We have accepted all these concepts. Okay. Now, Jesus says, if you have come to this earth, your soul comes with one little decision. What? Friends, please, can you take down very clearly? Write it in your mind now. Friends, the tool for growth in earth is pain. So our soul decided to use pain as a tool to come to this earth. So this has to be our basic starting point. If we don't have clarity with this, no. Jesus says very clearly, unless you take up your cross, unless you take up your holy cross, and follow me, there's no use of being in this earth. Friends, I'm not saying be all the time having pain. No, no, no. I'm not a person for pain, but we got to understand the meaning of pain. Am I clear? Yeah. So, friends, if one psychologist called as Scott Peck, he says, what is mental disorder? Okay, what's at the bottom of any mental disorder? It is this. Okay, friends, what starts off a mental disorder is somebody wanting not to have pain. You automatically develop mental disorder. You become a problem to you and others. So anybody who says, pain it is a school, it's a college. So pain is a school where I can learn life lessons. Okay. Friends, nature has got two ways of teaching us. One is love path, the other one is pain path. Supposing I choose love path, even in this life, no pain for me. But most of us, we show our back to love, and that's why we have pain. Okay? And choose pain in order to activate love. Friends, now now all my words are mumbo jumbo, okay, not clear. Let me put that in a clear, practical way. Then you will have some clarity. So let's begin our life with this proposition, okay? My soul has chosen love and pain to evolve in this earth. We don't know how long we are going to live here, but that is our tool. Okay, when you are taking notes, a pen is a tool. Okay, so for us to grow, we have chosen love and pain. So first, if you have some clarity in this, you know how to proceed with life. Okay. So Jesus says very clearly in Luke 14:27, whoever does not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. Friends, it's not Jesus suggesting it. Do you know? Our soul has decided to take pain as a tool to grow in this earth. Friends, what is this cross? If cross brings you a fresh suffering, you take the cross and toss it out your window. You don't need it. If Jesus is suggesting pain for us, friends, our soul has chosen pain. Jesus is not suggesting. He's just reiterating the decision of our soul. Supposing if you had not chosen pain as your tool for growth, you would have been born in some world other than the earth. Because Jesus says, there are many chambers I'm in charge of. You would have been born in some other chambers, not in this earth. Okay? So friends, once we have this proposition, it's not Jesus who is imposing cross on me. It is, this is my soul that has chosen pain. Friends, now, when I say pain, it's not your toothache and you are suffering from that. I'm not referring to this. But let me explain it this way. What is pain? Okay, what is cross instead? Okay, if God is giving me fresh pain, if God is going to give me suffering, by the way, sorry. Friends, God never gives us suffering. God gives us only pain. Pain is given for the sake of learning a lesson. Okay, friends, it's like mother giving bitter medicine to the baby. Not that she wants the baby to suffer, but she knows this medicine is going to heal the baby, cure the baby's illness. That's the intention. Okay, friends? So, cross works this way. Friends, if a cross is giving you suffering, then throw it out. There's a difference between suffering and pain. Pain is a gift from nature, but suffering is human creation. Friends, most of our trouble is suffering and not pain. Okay? God gives us only pain, never suffering. Suffering is human creation. Okay, so cross is like this. Friends, supposing you are standing in front of a huge wave like this. It's terrible, right? Humongous wave. It can engulf us and carry us away. Friends, when you are standing before a wave like this, if you are standing idle, what will happen? the wave can carry us. See, this is a high tide wave. Okay, it's like tsunami wave. It can literally kill us. Okay, it can engulf us. But there are human beings who have learned the art of surfing. So surfing, when you want to surf, there is a board. So what you do is in surfing, when the big wave is coming very close to you, then you stand on this little board, surfboard, and you tilt it certain way. As the wave comes, you have to keep on changing the direction. Okay, friends. Now what will happen is the wave will start carrying you. You will be flying high. Do you know this? A good surfer is happier when the wave is bigger. Am I clear? Friends, the more humongous the wave, the happier the surfer is, because the bigger waves, you can surf better. So what is cross? Cross is a surfboard. Cross does not add more suffering to you. But, when you come across waves and challenges in your life, cross helps you transform that pain into a redeeming grace. That's all. Okay, friends? So let's first start looking at cross as a surfboard, not as something that gives me suffering. Friends, these are the directions given to the surfers. If you follow the same direction, okay, then we would also be able to face all our challenges very well. Okay, now, when it comes to life, we are born with these two types of attachment. These two attachments are needed for little children to find their foundation, to build their foundation, and then to develop a healthy concept, self-concept. A baby is born with these two attachments. One is comfort attachment. A baby, whenever there is comfort, the baby smiles. Whenever there is discomfort, the baby cries. So the baby has to survive, right? So there is a comfort attachment that is created by God. Second one is ego attachment. The baby should have a sense of I, self. Only then they can build up their personality. Otherwise, they'll be, living in the shadow of their parents. So, friends, both these are created by nature, Mother Nature. Comfort attachment and ego attachment. Every child wants comfort in life. Every child has ego attachment. What? The child wants to be loved. The child wants to be accepted. The child wants to be understood. The child wants a stroke from parents, affirmation. All these are natural. Okay, friends, but there is something called individuation. What should happen? As a child grows, slowly, okay, friends, this is the default attachment we are born with. So everybody, friends, I'll be sending this PowerPoint to you. So if you want, you take notes. Otherwise, it's enough you listen. Okay. So what is this comfort attachment? Everybody is expecting that life be pleasant. This is meant for babies, children. Then expecting life should be without any pain. And expecting that journey should be comfortable. If I'm traveling by train or a bus or whatever, I expect my journey to be comfortable. Expecting planned events should go smooth. I have a plan. Everything should go according to the plan. Okay, we are expecting. Friends, yesterday, day before yesterday, I had a big plan for my day. I wanted to finish this work, that work, that work, that work. So what happened? I had class, online class, 9 to 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock exactly, I had a visitor. He did not inform me. He just came. He wanted to discuss something important. He took away 1 hour. Hardly I came to my room. There was a phone call. A family I know, they met with an accident. Okay, so they were in pain. I had to spend a little time on phone with them. Okay, by the time I was finished with that, there was another phone call. Another family, something had happened, among parents, a big fight, and I had to listen to them. Then already 12:30, lunchtime over. Hardly I finished lunch, there was another visitor. Like this, the entire day went. and things did not go according to my plan yesterday. So, friends, but we all have this expectation. I have a plan. Everything should go according to this. This is an expectation of a child. Same way, frustration, intolerance. We all have seen how children are so intolerant to little frustration. The child is demanding chocolate, or let's say ice cream. Mom is saying, no, no honey, no baba. Now you are having cold, so today no ice cream. Immediately, they start yelling. Is this natural for children? Yes. But once they come of age, they are supposed to grow out of it, which is not happening for us. That's a problem. Okay, friends? Same way, there is another attachment called ego attachment. What is it? I'm expecting everyone should love me. I'm expecting that everyone should understand me. I expect that everyone should accept me. I'm expecting everyone, sorry, there's a mistake. Everyone will see things from my perspective. When I'm explaining something, my entire community should understand me. They should see from my point of view. But what's the reality? They say, friends, in a community, if there are 5 sisters, there will be 8 opinions. Okay? Like, do you know there are 16 types of brains? You have one specialization in your brain. Another sister has got opposite specialization. Okay? So one sister says, every Sunday going for house visit is good. Another sister will immediately oppose it by saying, you know what? This is what happened 10 years back. One young sister, junior, she fell in love with a guy and she eloped. She ran away. She left the congregation. So when you suggest something, another will try to dispose it. Okay, friends? So, but what is ego attachment is I'm expecting everybody to love me, understand me, accept me. And when I say something, everybody should accept it. Everybody should see from my perspective. Friends, this is natural default expectation. But what cross is making us do is, it is, friends, Holy Cross charism. Mother Claudine and her spirituality later. Of course, you are a combination of both the Salesian and Jesuit spirituality, both put together. Now you have come up with this charism, right? Kenosis in the Paschal mystery. Okay, kenosis is complete self-emptying, and that's the spirituality of the cross. Friends, we empty ourselves so that we can possess this entire universe. So let's put this kenosis in 2 forms. So in cross, we have 2 bars, one horizontal bar and one vertical bar. Okay. So one of the bars says you develop frustration tolerance instead of what? Comfort attachment. So second one says you develop surrender instead of ego attachment. So friends, Holy Cross invites us to move from comfort attachment to frustration tolerance. And for example, Philippians 4:12, where St. Paul says, I know how to be brought low, and I know how to abound. In any and every circumstance, I have learned the secret of facing plenty and hunger, abundance and need. This is the first lesson we have to learn. The second one is called ego attachment. We go from ego attachment to surrender. So 1 Corinthians 1:27. But God chose what is foolish in the world to shame the wise. God chose what is weak in the world to shame the strong. That means I understand my weakness and I surrender myself totally to God. Okay. Friends, now let's see how we can overcome this comfort attachment. Once I was invited to Andhra, to a province sisters for retreat. I was preaching retreat for that entire province. Okay. Friends, while I was preaching, there was a sister, a Franciscan sister from the US. She was an American. She was also staying in the convent. She was also attending the retreat. But, a personal retreat. Okay. Friends, I remember once, we both were having lunch. Okay. Friends, okay, we had our own little dining room where both of us were having lunch. So I asked the sister to serve first. She was serving lunch. And then what she did, she took this pickle bottle, Andhra pickle, hot pickle. She opened the bottle and she took one full spoon, tablespoon full of pickle, and then she placed it on the plate. Immediately I said, sister, sorry, that's not a side dish. It's a hot pickle. And you Americans, no, you may not be used to this hot pickle and all that. She smiled at me. She said, Father, I'll tell you something. Please use this in your preaching, she said. And then she started sharing, okay, about her life. She gave a little testimony. Okay. Sister, her name was Sister Carmen. Friends, we say Carmel. In Spanish, they say Carmen. She was an American, but with a Spanish background. So, Sister Carmen. Okay. Carmen was born in an affluent family in the US. She was brought up well. And when she was 17-year old, she was studying in school. She happened to see a movie on St. Francis of Assisi. She was so inspired, and she right away wanted to become a Franciscan. So against the will of her parents, she joined the convent. And while she was about to finish her novitiate, and just before the first vows, okay, the provincial came for visitation and asked her, honey, do you call juniors honey? Americans do that, okay? So provincial asked her, honey, after your first vows, we have to put you in a community, okay? What kind of ministry would you like to do? And this girl said, sister, please send me to a very poor country where I can do little pastoral ministry and be with the people, poor people. I want to minister to the poor people, she said. Then provincial said, well, then I have a suggestion. We have our mission in Paraguay. Paraguay is a South American country. And since you have a Spanish background, you know English, you know Spanish, would you like to go to Paraguay and do your mission there? Absolutely. I'm excited. Please send me there. Well, she was sent to Paraguay. And when she went there, friends, in South American countries, most of the congregations, they don't have big institutions. They do pastoral ministry, right? Friends, literally, they are the administrators of the parish. Like a priest, they administer sacraments, but it's the sisters who run the parish. I remember one particular parish, sisters were in charge. I remember Sister Pilar, in charge of that Spanish community. The parish priest was afraid of the sister because she was the administrator. He was only administering sacraments, okay, very powerful. Anyways, friends, after going there, she fell in love with her mission, with the country, with a type of ministry. She liked it. You know what her community would do? Every morning after breakfast, they would go to the parish and they were taking care of the office. They were organizing all events. For example, baptismal preparation and preparation for Holy Communion, confirmation, preparing couples for marriage, wedding, and all that, during the day. And then evenings, what they would do, every sister would go to this basic Christian communities. We, in Tamil Nadu, they say Anbiyam. Okay? Like each sister would go to a village, gather all the people. They would have evening worship. After the worship, they had to have supper with those people and come back to the convent. She loved it. But there were two things she could not accept at all. Friends, there were the water there and the food. Now, what about water? Sister Carmen said every time she opened the pot to take water, when she looked into the pot, actually that was a water right from the pond. They would not even filter. There was so much of dirt. And also little worms squirming inside, wriggling worms. The moment she saw, it was disgusting for her. Every time she drank that water, she had stomach upset and diarrhea. And she loved the food in the convent, but when she went to the villages, people were offering beef. Beef was the main supper, okay? Friends, the problem was the beef was not well cooked. It was not well done. It was not even half cooked. The blood would be oozing and it would be smelling, foul smell. So every time she ate beef, her stomach would get upset. She was having diarrhea from the time she reached. Everyday diarrhea. Slowly, body got dehydrated. She was taken to the hospital. The doctor said, "Sister, your body is not accepting the food here and the water. So you better go back to your country. Otherwise, you will die of dehydration." So she was brought back to the convent with all medication. And Superior said, "Honey, come on, pack up. We have to send you back in the next flight because your health is not that good." She said, Sister, please don't send me back. Okay, give me little grace time, little more time." And then she said, "Hey, this is life or death issue." She said, please, I will take care of my health. Give me just a few days. Okay, the following morning, Superior said, "Honey, come here. We are all going for a ministry, okay? You better stay here because you're not feeling well. You have your own lunch, you cook, and your supper also. We all will come back at night. Take care of yourself." And all the sisters left. Okay. You know what Carmen did? She was just a junior sister, hardly like 21, 22-year-old girl. She went to the chapel and said, "Jesus, what is this? You are the one who inspired me to take up mission. I've come all the way and you want me to go back? No way." And she looked at the body and said, "My dear body, you are like a vehicle for me, for my soul, car. So we are driving car. The car is supposed to take us where we want to go, right? See, you want to go from Madurai to Angamali. The car should go toward that direction, not toward Chennai. Then it's not a good car." And she says, "Hey, I want to go to Angamali. You are taking me to Chennai, okay? Then you are not a good body. My dear body, I want to tell you this. I am the boss here. You are not the boss. You are not controlling me. I got to control you, okay? You have to obey me." And she told the body, "My dear vehicle, my dear car, my dear body, okay, I want to tell you very clearly, I know you are upset with food and water, but I'm not going to return home. I came here for a mission. I'm going to stay here even if I die. Okay, my dear body, I'm going to drink that same contaminated water, that same beef. You got to get used to it." She would say this, "Go and take little water from the pot," and she drank. And once again, diarrhea. But friends, little by little, she was improving. Within 3 weeks, her body started accepting water. Within a month and a half, her body started accepting beef. Okay? Friends, afterwards, she became really healthy, hale and healthy, excellent body. She was in Paraguay for 35 years. She said not even once she got malaria. When other sisters were getting malaria very often, they were down with flu and fever and all that. Once in a way, she used to get little fever or cold, gone. But for 35 years, she did not fall sick. Amen. Not major illness. She was so hale and healthy, completely involved in her mission. Okay. Friends, after 35 years, she was elected general counselor and transferred to Rome. They had a general council meeting, and general told her, "Sister Carmen, you'll be in charge of India and the Asian countries. So your next assignment is India. Within 2 months, you have to go to India. Be prepared. Okay, get all the files of those provinces and go through them." "Okay," she said. And then there was an Indian sister in the general aid, one of the secretaries. She called that sister and said, "Sister, I'm going to India, Andhra for my visitation." Okay. And that sister said, "Sister, you're going to Andhra, right? Andhra food is very hot. So I will inform those communities in India. When you go, to give you, not to give you that local hot food, but give you, that Western food. She said, no, 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 no. I don't want that. Sister Carmen said, which is the hottest food, most pungent food in India? She said, Andhra pickle. And immediately sister gave her money and said, go to the Indian shop, buy 2 bottles of Andhra pickle to me immediately. She said, sister, that is too hot. Hey, just obey what I tell you, go. And that sister bought hottest pickle, okay? And she kept one pickle on her table, the other one in the fridge. And she told the pickle, my dear pickle, I love you. My dear body, when I go to India, I don't want to be an American. I want to be an Indian. So I'm going to have only this food, whatever India is providing. So my dear body, accept this pickle, okay? And she kept on saying, I love you, pickle. And then she opened the cover and one little, it was terrible for her. But she kept on saying, come on, come on, come on. Accept this pickle, and all that. Friends, within 2 months, she was able to take a spoonful, eat, and the body was accepting. She did little by little. And this is called stretching. She did stretching little by little, okay? You stretch the limit. I'm not saying take pickle immediately, dump it into your mouth. No, no, no. Little by little. And she said, she came here and said, I don't want any special food, same food, and wonderful. And saying this, she took that pickle and then swallowed it and told me, Father, see, my eyes are not watering. I'm able to accept this pickle. And then she said, Father, we all have a nature to look for comfort all the time. But only when I'm able to be comfortable with my discomforts, then my mission can start. Otherwise, she says, all our religious life, we spend most of our energy looking for comfort. So friends, the first aspect of the cross is to become comfortable with discomfort. Am I clear? Yeah. Friends, this is called comfort disturbance, comfort attachment. I have to move from my comfort to frustration tolerance. Sisters, I'll give you one little example of what this frustration tolerance is. Okay? Sisters, now, we all travel in train, right? So, when we are traveling in train, do you know, when you have a berth, when you are trying to go to bed, when you are trying to sleep, do you know the sound created by train is 80 decibels? That sound, tadak, 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 that sound is 80 decibels. Supposing in your convent, in your bedroom, when you are sleeping, somebody has got a speaker, sound system that plays the same sound, need not be 80 decibels, only 50 decibels, you will not be able to sleep. Am I clear? So my question is, in your room, you are unable to sleep. But in the train, there's more noise, you are able to sleep. How? Somebody wants to explain this, you can unmute audio and say also. Why you are able to sleep in a train, but unable to sleep in your room? With that same sound, you won't be able to. Friends, it's because we all have expectations. What? My room has to be silent. We all have a belief, in order to sleep, surrounding has to be silent. If that is true, friends, recently I'd gone to Chennai. I went to Coimbatore. I was, while going in the car, we stopped in a signal. And I saw in the median, there were 2 coolies after carrying all the bags. Okay, they were on that median sleeping. So many vehicles, they were honking so much, bam, 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 bam. And these 2 men, what a deep sleep. And somebody was trying to wake them up, but they were in such a deep sleep because they had to continue work, After that man literally beat them because the car had stopped. I was observing all this. Literally beat them and wake them up and said, hey, come man, come, we have to go. Maybe they had traveled at night. Friends, what a deep sleep they were having in spite of all that sound. So, what is this comfort disturbances? We all have a thought inside. For me to sleep, there should be silence. Okay, friends, uh, uh, in Anugraha, we put two people in a room, right? The biggest complaint that comes to me almost every other day when people are here. Like recently, we had 150 people attending course. Okay, we had to cancel it because of pandemic and send them home. Okay, uh, so many coming to me and telling, my roommate is snoring. I'm unable to sleep. Okay, friends, what one person, there was no other room. So I said, can you tolerate? No, she's snoring so much. How can I tolerate that? Then I said, sister, while coming, she came from north. Did you come and train? Yeah. Friends, the snoring is 40 decibel. The train sound is 80 decibel. Did you sleep in the train? Yes. Why? Because in train, you cannot say, shh, train, be silent. You think train is going to listen? Even if you say silent, the train is going to make sound. So mind says, what I cannot change, I will accept. Am I clear? What cannot be changed, I will accept. You are able to accept the sound of the train, you are able to sleep well. Am I clear? Friends, once we go with this, life has to be comfortable. Okay, then what happens is every little discomfort will disturb you and take the energy away from your mission. That's why we might be spending 80% of our energy around comfort. Do you agree with me? Yeah. Friends, I'll give you maybe my own example. Once in North, I had finished one one preaching. From there, I had to go for some other congregation for seminar. I had to take 2 trains. Okay, the ones who invited me, they had booked a train ticket and they sent me that information. Okay, friends, somehow in both trains they had booked the first class for me. I didn't ask for. Normally, I go in a third class or the second class. Okay, simple. Okay, they booked. Now, the first train I took, I reached. Excellent. What a comfort, AC, and there were not many people, no noise, wonderful travel. I got down, within half an hour, I was supposed to take another train. I got down and looked at that notice board that this train's name was not there. So I went to the station master and said, sir, I have to take this particular train. When is it coming? He said, sorry, that train is delayed by 7 hours. But it's somewhere on the way. Okay. But by the time it reaches, it might be even 10 hours or 12 hours because not the heavy fog, snow. This is a fog. Okay. Mist and fog. So it will get delayed. But he said, you have a choice. There is one train. It is about to leave now. Within a minute, this is going to leave. They have already given signal. Okay. If you want to get into this train, this is also going to that same place. Only thing is you have first class ticket. You won't be able to travel in a reserved compartment. If you want, you take common compartment. That's what a difference. So for me, I want to reach in time because I had to take class, right? So that was my foremost in my mind. So I hopped onto that train. It started moving, ran to the common compartment and hopped on. My goodness, heavy. Everybody seated, not even a little place for me to sit. Friends, even in the pathway, there were so many people. I was wondering what to do. I had my bag and a laptop. Now, where to sit? Okay. So I looked up, on the luggage, a little loft is there for luggage. Okay. There were 2 men sitting. There was little gap. That was the only gap available. I signaled to them, can I sit there? He said, no problem, come. So I had to literally mount and sit in that. Imagine something meant for a luggage, not even soft seat and hard. That place is, that iron bars, discomfort. Friends, when I sat, then first thing I had to tell my mind was, okay, see, I've come here for a mission. Comfort is secondary for me. Mission is on the top. So what I did, I sat, put my bag as cushion. I leaned back, and then I had a little MP3 player. I put on that one, and I started listening to some songs. I love the songs of Jim Reeves. You know, I'll fly away, oh glorious, I'll fly away. That songs, okay, friends. I closed my eyes, and full attention was on the song. Okay, I traveled 4 hours, but did not feel time passing at all. In the first train, there was AC, comfort. In the second train, scorching sun, okay, and heavy crowd, people literally, getting jammed, and all that. What a noise, a din, and all that. But once I put on my earbuds and I was into the song, I forgot about the whole thing. And after 4 hours, when I got on from the train, friends, I felt I had same comfort level in both the trains. Am I making sense? So friends, once I say, that's what we have to say very clearly. Mission is on the top. I don't want comfort. I could have stayed for 10 hours and taken a train just for 4 hours of comfort. Instead, I said, mission is on my priority now. Comfort is secondary. So my dear body, come on, accept this discomfort. Once we accept, that discomfort becomes comfort. Am I clear? Friends, I had the same comfort I would have had in that AC compartment. And I was able to reach on time and then start my session. Am I clear? Yeah. And sure enough, when I went, the junior sisters were all waiting, and they played this drums, tribal drums, and welcomed me. They started washing my feet and all that. I felt a little uncomfortable. After 2 days, the girl who washed my feet, she said, "Father, I'm angry with you." I said, "Why?" She said, "When we wash your feet, you're supposed to give us little money." I immediately bought chocolate for everybody. Okay. So, friends, do you understand? This is called, so the cross invites us to go from comfort attachment to what? Frustration tolerance. So once we are able to have this in mind, maybe 60% of our problems will be solved. Okay. Now the second. So the second thing we have to develop is surrender. Friends, here we read in 1 Corinthians 27, okay? My ego has to be surrendered to God. Then what happens? My very weakness becomes my strength. Friends, for this, I want to give you a little example of the famous sculptor called Michelangelo and Raphael. Okay. Friends, we all know about 16th century beginning, when Pope Sixtus was a pope of our mother church, and Pope Sixtus, he was building Vatican Palace, where the Pope is residing. While building Vatican Palace, he hired 2 specialists. One was Michelangelo, the other one was Raphael. Okay, Michelangelo was a sculptor. So Pope asked him to create some of the sculptures. You all know about famous works of Michelangelo. Yeah. Then Raphael, he was a good artist. He was asked to paint all the corridors. So Michelangelo, he did some sculptures. We can see here, this famous Pieta and David and Angel and Moses. All these famous sculptures were done by Michelangelo. Excellent. And then Raphael, he was doing these paintings. You can see here, painting on the corridor. on the inside roof. He was painting. Okay, friends, these are all paintings of Raphael. Okay, some of the samples. Okay, now on the one side, Raphael was doing his painting. On the other side, Michelangelo was doing sculpting. Now, Michelangelo finished all his sculpting. All the statues were ready. Okay. But this painting was still going on. Pope, he loved Michelangelo more than Raphael because of his character. So, Pope Sixtus was more friendly with Michelangelo than Raphael. Friends, naturally, there'll be jealousy, right? So, Raphael felt so jealous of Michelangelo. Raphael had his own assistants who were helping him with painting. So, during lunchtime, they all used to discuss, and Raphael said, "Hey, this fellow is in the good books of the Pope. I somehow want to discredit him, bring him down. Okay, how shall we do it?" They were plotting. After 2 months, he came up with a plan. Okay, Raphael went to the Pope and said, "His Holiness, I've got a suggestion for you." He said, "What?" He said, "See, we are still painting. We have way more painting to be done. Whereas Michelangelo has finished all his work. And we have a big project. That is, we have to paint the Sistine Chapel. You know the chapel? Now it is called the Sistine Chapel. At that time, they were just constructing. And he said, only 2 more years for us to finish all this work. And for us, difficult to cover that also. Why don't you ask Michelangelo to do painting in the chapel? We will finish all these corridors." Pope said, "Hey, my dear man, Michelangelo is a sculptor, not a painter, not an artist." He said, friends, it was part of his plot. Actually, Michelangelo didn't know how to paint, okay, how to do art. He said, His Holiness actually is telling lie. He's a good artist also. Apart from being a sculptor, he knows how to do artwork. Excellent. He's pretending. If you force him, he will do it. And the Pope believed him. It was all because of jealousy. Okay. And he called Michelangelo and said, "Hey, Michelangelo, okay, I'm commanding you to do painting. Okay, go to that chapel. You take the Bible from the book of Genesis up to the book of Revelation. Take all important events and you portray them, on the wall, on the ceiling, everywhere." Okay. Michelangelo said, "His Holiness, I'm a sculptor. You asked me to sculpt, I'll do it. But I'm not a painter." He said, "Nothing doing. Under obedience, you got to do it." Michelangelo literally fought with the Pope and went back to Florence. Pope sent his soldiers, arrested Michelangelo and brought him back and said, "You have no choice. You've got to paint. Come on, go and do the painting." And then he didn't know what to do. Friends, he used to go to a Franciscan monastery, chapel, and he kept on crying. Friends, there was actually a wooden statue of Pieta, Mother Mary holding dead Jesus. So he used to go to her and said, "Mother Mary, you are crying, because your son is dead. I am also crying because he knew Raphael's plot. I am a victim of Raphael's plot, and Pope is not understanding that I am not a good painter. So please help me." He pleaded 2-3 times to Pope. Pope said, "Nothing doing. You have to do it." Then he said, "Can you give me 6 months? I want to practice." "Okay, but from now you have 2 years. You have to finish all the paintings within that 2 years. So reopening will be at this time. Everything should be done by then." "Okay, His Holiness." He went and took canvas and he started painting. It was horrible. Okay, friends, there's a difference between canvas painting and fresco painting. What is fresco painting? Say canvas, you're painting. If it is not okay, you can remove the canvas and paint on another canvas. But what is fresco painting? Fresco painting is like this. Okay, when they are building the building, after building the wall, finally they give this plaster, right? Cement plaster. When they are applying plaster and level it, it is wet, right? That wet cement. On that you have to draw. So when you touch that cement, it will absorb that paint. So when the cement dries, the paint is already absorbed inside, and then it will remain for 1,000 years. Friends, if you draw on a dry wall, what will happen is after 5-10 years, it will peel off and come off. You have seen sometimes it happens on the windows and doors, right? You paint and the paint peels off. It's something like that. So fresco painting is very risky in the sense if you make a mistake, friends, you have to once again pull down the wall. Anybody, will they be happy? You make mistake and then keep on removing all the plasters and trying to do it again. They will shout at you. So what Raphael thought was fresco painting. He's not an artist. He will make all mistakes, and then the Pope will be really angry with him. That's what he wanted. So and Michelangelo understood, but still he said, God, if it is your will that I have to paint, reveal to me. So what he did, he painted on a canvas again and again. Friends, he took 6 months. He drew minimum 3,000, pieces on the canvas. Finally, he went to the Pope and said, His Holiness, I will do the painting. He accepted. He took his assistants, went to the chapel. He shut the door. Friends, painters usually will not display their painting until it is over. Okay, so Raphael was painting in the corridors and Michelangelo in the chapel. After 2 years, everything was done. On the opening ceremony, the Pope and King and all ministers, they all came. Pope said the blessing and then opened the Vatican Palace. Everybody entered. They looked at the paintings of Raphael. They said, well done, bravo, 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 bravo. They kept on going. Friends, once they entered the Sistine Chapel, they looked at the painting of Michelangelo. Oh, they were all amazed. They were all astounded. Why? The painting of Michelangelo was much better than the painting of Raphael. Not only that, Raphael was just painting. What Michelangelo did, in all his painting, there was a theological meaning in that. Okay, friends? Friends, in that, so when they looked at this, they started asking Michelangelo, what's the meaning of that painting? He said, I will not interpret. You people interpret. And everybody got fascinated. Friends, even today, when you go to Vatican Palace, when you enter, people are all looking at Raphael's painting and they say, bravo. When they enter Sistine Chapel, nobody wants to leave. You will see even now, today. Okay? Literally, there are police inside Sistine Chapel. Friends, with the little lathi they have, they literally push people out slowly. Please go out, please go out, please go out. They literally push people because nobody wants to go out. This is really enchanting. It's just mind-blowing, that painting. People, they simply are astounded. Yeah. And the Pope turned to him and said, hey, man, you are so humble. You are so talented, and you told me you're not good in painting. See, what a marvelous piece of creation. And he said, in that case, I know you'll be an excellent architect also. So after the palace, he wanted to build St. Peter's Basilica. Now we have St. Peter's Basilica, right? And he said, before Michelangelo, there was one Brahms, who was an architect. He gave him money and said, go home. And he said, now you build this one, St. Peter's Basilica. Friends, he was promoted. Raphael was given money and sent home. Now everybody remembers Michelangelo, right? He designed and he constructed St. Peter's Basilica. But very few people know about Raphael. Am I clear? See how God elevated Michelangelo. Sisters, with this I will complete. Okay. And now, if you go to Sistine Chapel, there are so many paintings, right? Friends, these are some of the paintings of Michelangelo. See, this is Sistine Chapel. painting of Michelangelo. If you go directly, you would see the marvels of this painting. Friends, right in the center, Michelangelo painted this. Friends, in fact, when Sister Pushpam suggested about this theme, this topic, right away, this was a picture that came to my mind. I put in the PowerPoint right away, as soon as she said. And then I was surprised to see, even in your invitation, right? You have put the same painting, and I was surprised. See how it is coinciding? Yeah. Friends, Michelangelo, he drew this particular painting right in the center. If you look at the center, you will see this. Okay? Actually, what was he trying to? He was trying to convey a message. What that message is? He was trying to convey this message to Raphael. Friends, if you look at God the Father here, can you see a robe around God the Father? If you carefully watch it, it is in the shape of a human brain. Exactly, you see, human brain. So, what was the message Michelangelo was trying to give to Raphael? It was this. Okay. This is a message. He was telling Raphael, you were trying to discredit me, right? You were trying to pull down my fame. You were using your brain. He said, I'm not using my brain at all. I'm using God as my brain. God is my brain. Okay? You cannot bring me down. Friends, this is called coming out of our ego attachment. When we are without ego, every weakness of ours will be converted into strength. That's what we see in all the prophets. Whatever weakness we have, the moment we surrender, Michelangelo surrendered. He was not an artist, okay? And he surrendered to God and said, God, if it is your will, please train me and elevate me. He not only became a good painter, he also became a great architect, one of the best architects in the world. His name is, appearing in that list of best architects again and again for centuries. Okay, sisters? So this is the lesson we can learn from the cross. There are two types of attachments we have. In order to do a good mission, in order to lead a good community life, we have to come out of these two attachments. The first one is comfort attachment. From that, we have to go to what? Frustration tolerance. Okay, sisters? To be comfortable with my pain. Pain is temporary until I learn a lesson, then pain goes away. Okay. Same way, I have an ego. I'm expecting that everybody in my community should love me. Everybody in my community should be understanding. They should accept me. They should see everything from my point of view. I realize, we have a lot of differences, but still, if we can come together and understand each other, then we can make a good community. Okay, sisters, we can discuss about how we can bring this particular, how we can make our community a tent where we can meet with God and we can squarely face each other and build a happy community. Is it okay?
Thank you, Father Wilson.
Thank
you
you.
have enlightened us that God gives us pain and not suffering. Pain is to learn something. Always cross leads us pain. When we are comfortable with the discomfort, our lives become meaningful. With these thoughts, let us go for lunch break.